We're in the study for this morning's wee word, and not because it's raining outside, although it is. We've just got back from our walk. Brewer's gone to bed already, but because I wanted to really show you these pictures. They come from a study exercise that was brought out by the World Council of Churches a few years ago called The Christ We Share. And this part of it are all sorts of images, 32 different images of Christ. And of course, you'll know if you've been reading the papers or if you've been aware of what's being said in the media that over the weekend, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Dustin Welby, was making some comments about how we see Christ in the Western world, saying that we need to get away from this idea of Christ as white. And I've had a lot of people ask me, and I mean a lot of people ask me, what Christ looked like then? And the truth is we don't know. We just don't know. We have some pointers in the book of the prophet Isaiah in chapter 53. We're given a prophecy about the Messiah which points towards Jesus and that describes him, or describes the Messiah, the prophecy, as being that he possessed no splendid form for us to see, no desirable appearance. And then there are people like Irenaeus, who was writing, he was said that Jesus was weak, an inglorious man, and others in other places he's described as small and bald-headed. But the thing is about that a lot of these writers are again Jesus. They're not supporters of the Christian church, of Christ's followers. The truth is that nobody knows. And of course, the Archbishop of Canterbury's comments were off the back of some people calling for the statues of Jesus to be taken down because they depict Jesus as a white European. And that's true in our context, but as you can see from some of these pictures, Jesus is depicted across so many cultures, and in each of those cultures, he is depicted in different ways. One of the things that Justin Welby said was a criticism. He criticised the sense that God is white. He said that Jesus was Middle Eastern, not white, and that's absolutely true. Of course he was. He was born where he was born. He was born a Jew. So of course he didn't look like me. He didn't look like somebody born in Scotland. But I don't think it actually matters what Jesus looked like. Surely what matters is what Jesus said. Surely what matters is what Jesus did, how he lived. And how he lived a gospel that tells us that all lives matter. And I realise, I appreciate that is a controversial thing to say nowadays, but for me that is the heart of the gospel. The gospel that asks us to care for the poor, to feed the hungry, to speak up for the marginalised, that calls for us to love our enemies, to offer forgiveness before it's asked for, that challenges us to let go of fear and anger and to reach out in love and hope. That's a quote from what may be this week's sermon. I know that this is a controversial business. And I know it's this has got the possibility to blow up in my face, but really I can't not say what I'm saying this morning. I'm not saying anything. Jesus is depicted in different ways in different cultures at different times. But what doesn't change is the message. And I believe that's what we should focus on. So there we are, probably the most controversial wee word in 100 and something odd days. I hope this hasn't upset you. If it has, I apologise, but we have to be honest about what we think. Take care, everyone. God bless, and keep well.